The Tale of Rhy Shen, Chapter 4. 2 Birds and a Stone. A sharp inhale cut the air in the arena as Immo's boots dug into the stone. Tension coiled in his shoulders.
Time to put things back in order. Starting with you, Arrival. You are so crooked in all the wrong ways. You turd.
He never finished the insult. Rhy Shen's hammerhead materialized in a flicker of ghost light and hit him right in the face, once again.
Ugh.
From the crowd, Lumen's panicked voice rang out.
Stop it, Rhy Shen! He's an Aetham soldier rank 4! Rank 4! Don't provoke him!
Rhy Shen tilted his head slightly, as though hearing an odd rumor.
Ranked? In what?
Then Immo moved. His palms and shoulders slammed forward and... boom! A shockwave detonated outward from his core, bending air and cracking ground. Rhy Shen burst apart into drifting ghost shreds. For a heartbeat, there was nothing of him left. Immo's eyes widened as he stared at the void he had brought into being.
Holy, that's not what I intended to do.
All the scholars and even Thos were stunned. Particles that had once united into the entity Rhy Shen now swirled through the air like motes of dust. The small speech bug Rhy Shen had worn clattered to the ground. Thus, after a while, the fragments began to decelerate, suspended, weightless, glowing faintly in the dim light. Then, with a cascade of delicate chimes, they folded back inward. Rhy Shen reformed in one fluid motion, with a faint smirk on his face, his lower body nothing more than a swirling black cloud. He picked up the speech bug and murmured, calm and even.
Is that all, Immo?
Rhy Shen's calm, collected posture carried an unexpected weight, enough to make Immo grit his teeth in frustration. He rolled his shoulders, as though warming up rather than fighting.
See this? Every time I hit you, I spill Aetham from my core.
A spark of orange light leaked from his chest and floated upward like a single ember.
It should be the other way around when you get hit. Ah ha ha! That's how big the gap is between us. You not only have no Aetham to spill, it's even worse. You're sucking it.
The light wavered in the air, like a firefly in a hot summer night. Rhy Shen recognized the aura at once. It was the same energy that had once brought down his entire world, the same chi his people had failed to restore. Other glowing particles from the earlier clash with Immo still drifted through the room, drawn magnetically toward the slender head of Rhy Shen's sledgehammer as it passed.
You've got some nerve, Arrival. Stop siphoning my core Aetham and start concentrating. There's a scientific reason I'm not blasting you to pieces with a single strike of my sword. So don't make me regret it.
Oh, kid. Oh, Rhy Shen.
M spoke up in Rhy Shen's ear.
Immo's right, and you're pathetic. Again. If you keep fiddling with that pinprick of a weapon, this conflict will only escalate. Believe me. It's obvious that your weapon is drawing Aetham from Immo's core, while he doesn't get a single spark from you. Keep defying the rules and logic he relies on, and he will become very, very angry.
Rhy Shen gripped the mysterious hammer and brought it to his shoulder, holding it like a scythe.
Haha, let's try that again, asshole.
The hammer slammed into the ground, and the sweeping strike forced Immo back. Wham!
Both of you, stop! I can't fix you if you break each other apart!
Lumen darted between them and reached for Rhy Shen's hand wrist. He flickered. This time, intentionally. Her hand passed through empty air. Rhy Shen re-solidified his arm behind her with a faint, satisfied smile on his lips. M was impressed.
Clever trick for a dumb fish like you. Even a broken clock is right twice a day,
Immo exhaled, slowly. His voice lowered into a dangerous growl.
All right, enough games.
His core ignited, and his eyes lit up in amber and orange. M shouted something through the speech bug, but the roar drowned him out.
Let's see you walk through this, Arrival.
Immo hurled a giant fireburst, inflicting the whole arena. A column of fire and pressure crashed into Rhy Shen like descending judgment. The arena went white. Lumen shielded her face from the heat, just like the other scholars. When she pulled back her hands, the hall was filled with the hiss of cooling stone. Rhy Shen stood in the center of scorched earth. Smoke drifted from his shoulders. He coughed once. His hair was somewhat disheveled but intact. His eyes were sharper than before. Without saying a word, he stooped and picked up his speech bug again.
Wow, really? Wow.
Alchemist Thos stepped down the stairs from the main elevator that had just stopped in the arena. He clapped his hands in unironic awe and stared at Rhy Shen in disbelief, while his scholars quickly cleared a path in 2 neat rows and lowered their heads respectfully.
Immo Sylvas, would you mind doing that again? Don't hesitate. Give him all you got.
Immo flickered with mistrust for a second, but he quickly recovered. With a furrowed brow, he unleashed another burst of fire at the new arrival. Rhy Shen found the blaze more annoying than threatening, and raised his eyes, shielding them as though the low sun burned in his vision. Thos took out pen and paper and wrote something down with shaking fingers.
Fascinating. Apparently this arrival is untouched by fire. My dear ghostboy Rhy Shen, that is something very rare in the universe. Did you know that?
Rhy Shen shifted his stance, calm and centered.
I had my suspicions about that.
In Rhy Shen's ear, the voice of M groaned dramatically.
There goes our advantage. He's going to use this information, kid. He's absolutely going to use this.
M said it with the sort of innocence that ignored his own exploitation of it the night before.
Oh, as fate would have it, we have some use for someone with this ability here in the Alchemist Guild. We'll come back to that later.
I knew it.
Immo stepped forward with a puffed chest. His eyes were blazing with outrage, and he pointed a judging finger at Rhy Shen.
Oh, the nerve. The absolute nerve! You owe me, Arrival. You cannot possibly be normal. To absorb Atham without losing a single spark, even while under attack? What in the name of the guild are you?
He threw his hands dramatically toward the ceiling, as if appealing to some higher law.
Do you even have an inner core to bind Atham? Or are you really a dead man? I should never have assisted Lumen with this abomination of a weapon. This is how you react to a gift? You're a scammer, a fraud,
His indulgence cut his voice off. Instead of finishing the sentence, he turned an imperious glare toward Rhy Shen.
And it's beyond unfair. Beyond! To pilfer Atham in a mere training bout without even offering a single charm stone in return. Let me guess, you don't have one? Of course not. I have no words for this audacity.
From the crowd, a young scholar darted forward, hurling a polished gem straight at Immo's forehead.
Immo, stop acting like a melodramatic child and let him be. Take one of my charm stones if your dignity demands it.
Other scholars joined and started tossing small charm stones through the air with exaggerated enthusiasm.
Fethel's right. Here, Immo, catch it if your righteousness allows it.
Rhy Shen watched the scene with detached wonderment. These scholars, who didn't even know him, stood up for him like friends, mocking Immo in a way that made even Thos smirk off the record. Immo's veins bulged, hot steam almost rising from his ears. His frown looked sharp enough to split rock, while more and more charmstones piled up at his feet. With a tiger-like snap of her hands, Lumen caught one of the stones mid-air.
My friends, Immo may be righteous, but that doesn't mean he isn't right.
She stepped in front of Immo and turned to Thos.
Tell me, Master Thos, wouldn't it be a good idea to use Rhy Shen's abilities out there? To take care of our little problem?
The scholars gasped, while Thos's eyes widened.
Oh, you mean that problem?
He waved his fingers through the air with a knowing expression, and Lumen nodded. Another gasp rolled through the circle of scholars.
That is a marvelous idea, my dear scholar. We could quite literally kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Ha ha ha.
Lumen faltered for a moment and pressed her fingertips to her temples as if she had to keep something from spilling out. Then her eyes snapped open, filled with resolve.
I'll go with him. He needs supervision at all times, right?
At that, Immo raised his head, concern in his eyes, and drew the sickle from his belt.
Are you sure about that, Lumen?
I think so. He doesn't know how to handle the Juru people if he stumbles into them. But I do. So, I'll accompany him. If you allow it, Master Thos.
The declarative certainty in her voice bothered Thos more than he cared to admit.
Obviously you have already made your decision, Lumen. So, take what you need from the raid equipment and move out.
That was exactly what Lumen wanted to hear. She looked at Rhy Shen with pleasant anticipation.
Oh, Rhy Shen, my friend, you will love it out there. I think you are just the right one for this important assignment.
Deep in the back of Rhy Shen's mind, a bell rang, and something coiled in his stomach like a wrench. He had heard this before, and it had ended in carnage.
Oh, and Lumen, don't forget to wait until night before going up there. We don't know what the savages have in store for us today.
Lumen's eyelid flinched at the word savages, but she nodded. Then she took Rhy Shen's hand with a softness he could almost feel and dragged him out with her. As the doors closed behind them, Thos' eyebrows sank like curtains, shading his eyes with a dog-like expression. He pulled Immo to the side, murmuring as quiet as he could.
I want you to follow them, Immo Sylvas. Take a few other scholars with you if you must. Keep your eyes on our arrival. And on Lumen, too.